Bonjour et bienvenue au premier tour du Rugby World Crunch. My name is Usetu Time and I'm honored to be a host for the duration of the Rugby World Cup. Well, jumping straight into it, let's get ready to rumble. The opening fixture of the Rugby World Cup was always going to attract massive attention, more especially after having artists who have been in Oscar-winning movies to be part of the opening ceremony, showcasing their urban French culture. The opening ceremony was a tribute to rugby, its values, as well as a tribute to France and the romance in the heart of the City of Love. The first game between the All Blacks and the hosts of France certainly lived up to expectations, just not for my predictions, I'm afraid. I had the All Blacks to win by 7 points, but it looked like they were still licking their wounds from the debacle in Twickenham 2 weeks prior to the World Cup. They certainly started like a house on fire, with Mark Talea banging the first try of the World Cup. Thomas Ramos kept his side in the game, with the 3 points being knocked over, grabbing the lead for the first time after 20 minutes.
Into the lead, and
with just under 30 minutes to play, France came within inches of the All Blacks line, but thanks to a Mwanga special which prevented Pennard from grounding the ball in the corner. The cherry was put atop the French cake as Jaminet went over with 2 minutes left to play, sending the home crowd wild in celebration. Just not too sure what happened to the rest of the cake. England versus Argentina, with George Ford kicking all the points, including 3 drop goals, something I'm sure Johnny Wilkinson had moist dreams about. Another game that I butchered in my Super Brew prediction after just 4 wins from their last 13 matches, an English side boasting 10 survivors from their 2019 World Cup final loss to the Springboks. A dramatic opening 10 minutes at a packed Stade Velodrome, with Tom Curry being handed a yellow card in the 3rd minute following a clumsy clash of heads with fullback Juan Cruz Malia, but was eventually upgraded to a red. A 4th red card since March, and the flanker became the first England player to be sent off at a World Cup. That red card did not cause much damage for the English outfit, as they were able to manage and control the game much better than the Lost Pumas and showed better match temperament with a man down. This is the Rugby World Cup. Rodrigo Bruni crossed the whitewash for a late consolation try converted by Boffelli. Well, all too little too late, as England won their 5th test match in 14 attempts, 27 points to 10. Wales versus Fiji was the most dramatic of the opening rounds of the World Cup, with Dan Biggar having an interesting choice of wording to his fellow Centurion George North, who happened to just stay in limbo and be the bigger man.
Wales running out from deep here, Tompkins to North, who's lost it. Oh, there's some pretty language there from Dan Biggar. We do apologise for that, but you could hear what he said. Get the ball off the park. What are you doing, Wales?
Dan Biggar set a new Wales Rugby World Cup overall points record as his side held on for dear life to beat Fiji 32-26 in a pulsating encounter in Bordeaux. He scored 12 points to move to a tally of 109 and pass Neil Jenkins' total of 98 points. The two teams scored 4 tries apiece, and Fiji could have scored their 5th if Semi Radradra did not fumble the ball in the corner, with only the Welsh try line waiting for his warm embrace.
Defending tight. Fiji are going to give it some air. This is their DNA. This is their moment, and it's lost forwards. Of all people.
South Africa versus Scotland. The atmosphere in the stadium had a distinctly South African feel, as majority of the fans were Springbok supporters. The Springboks crossed the whitewash twice through Peter Steph Tutoy and Curtly Arendse. The latter received a no-look cross kick from Young Money Cash Money, in which I'm sure will be part of the World Rugby highlight reel for years to come.
And how about it for Libbok? Look at that for a nudge. Was that a no-look kick?
He may have pulled a few kicks wide, but he definitely pulled the strings for his team. Manie Libbok deserves to be at the stage, and his man of the match performance is a warning to World Rugby.
Congratulations, go enjoy the win.
It was never going to be pretty, but the Springboks put together 2 small parts of physicality and panache to beat the Scots 18-3 in the opening Pool B fixture. That's the Rugby World Crunch first round highlight reel. Here's what you can expect this weekend. Here's what you can expect in the second round of the Rugby World Cup. The host of France look to maintain their dominance up against Uruguay at 9 p.m. The All Blacks looking to set their campaign underway versus Namibia at 9 p.m. on Friday. And on Saturday, the Samoans up against Chile 3 p.m. and Wales looking to make it 2 out of 2 against Portugal at 17:45. And the Irish up against the Tongan Machines at 9 p.m. on Saturday. And Sunday is Blockbuster Day. The defending champions, the Springboks, up against Romania at 3 p.m. The Wallabies look set to make it 2 out of 2 up against Fiji at 17:45. And lastly, England up against Japan 9 p.m. That's the first round highlights of the Rugby World Crunch. We'll see you next week after the second round.